You ever notice how sometimes the thing that scares a kid most isn't what you expect? It's not the dark, or monsters, or even thunder. Sometimes it's just the word doctor. And let me tell you, for my son Leo, that word might as well have been a loaded gun. He'd look at me with those big, haunted eyes and just shut down. One day, he's curled up tight, arms locked around his belly, sweat pouring down his pale face. I'm trying to coax him into sipping some tea, just a little sugar, I say. It'll help. But he shakes his head, turns away, and you can see the pain written all over him, every muscle clenched, like he's fighting something inside and losing. Does it hurt, baby? I ask. He won't even look at me. No fever, but he's burning up inside. Then he whispers, I don't want to go to the doctor, Mom. And I mean, this wasn't the first time heck, for weeks, it's been this routine. Stomach pain that comes and goes, sometimes so bad he can barely breathe. I tried to take him to a clinic once. Just getting his shoes on, the kid went berserk, started crying, ran into the closet, and locked the door like I was about to send him to the electric chair. He'd never been like this. Leo was the tough one in the family, never flinched at shots, took scraped knees like a champ. So why now? Why hospitals, of all things? That's when Martha, our neighbor downstairs, she's the type who gossips but always means well, leans over her railing one afternoon. Your boy missed school again, she calls. I nod, try to keep my voice steady, but I know she can hear the worry. He's got stomach pain. I can't get him to eat. I don't know what to do. Martha, of course, shakes her head and tells me straight up, kids get scared, sure. But if he won't let anyone near him, something's up. Maybe, back when he was living with Andrew. She means my ex. The memory hits hard, Andrew, with his long hair, tattoos, always a little spaced out on the balcony. Martha once saw him carrying Leo out in the middle of the night. My stomach dropped. I never put two and two together. That night, the sound of retching snapped me awake. Leo was in the bathroom, pale as paper, throwing up blood. No time to think. I just grabbed him, ran out onto the street screaming for a cab, and before I knew it, we were at LA General Hospital, nurses rushing out with a gurney, bright lights and questions firing at me like bullets. How long has this been going on? Any allergies? I could barely speak, just sobbing. Please save my son. They wheeled Leo away, and I swear my heart stopped in that hallway, cold and alone. Inside the ER, Dr. Raymond Bennett, a serious, graying guy, stared at the scans. Something was in Leo's stomach, something long and wrapped in plastic. A foreign object, he called it. I didn't understand. Kids swallow coins, marbles maybe, but this was almost 9 centimeters long. The nurses prepped for an endoscopy. When Dr. Bennett tried, he saw it right away on the screen, a plastic tube, wrapped in nylon, leaking at the edges. Not something a child could just accidentally swallow. We need to operate now, he said. My knees gave out. Lucy, the nurse, caught me, whispered, we're not giving up on him. You can't either. In the operating room, it was all chaos, lights, machines, orders shouted. I waited in the hall, clutching my rosary, praying for a miracle. The surgery felt like an eternity. Later, Dr. Bennett showed me the thing they pulled out, a plastic tube, moldy and leaking, full of strange pills and a bit of paper. He said, this wasn't an accident, Miss James. The police will have to get involved. I wanted to scream. My baby, only 8, caught up in something I didn't understand. In the recovery room, Leo looked so tiny, hooked up to machines, his heart beeping slow and soft. Lucy stayed at his side. I sat outside, not blinking, afraid I'd missed the last moment I had with him. Detectives Herrera and Elena showed up with their notepads and gentle voices. Did anyone else care for Leo recently? They asked. I told them about Andrew, how he broke up, how he used to give Leo sleep candy. Suddenly, memories flooded back. Andrew locking doors, hiding bags, nights when Leo smelled like medicine. The detectives nodded, scribbling everything down. They'd seen this before. Meanwhile, the forensics team found that the pills in the tube were a deadly mix, enough fentanyl and methadone to kill an adult. The note inside, instructions for a drug drop. This wasn't just about Leo. He'd been used, like a package, stuffed and hidden, like he didn't even matter. When Leo finally woke up, his voice was a whisper. Uncle Andrew made me swallow it. He said it was candy, but it hurt. My heart broke into a million pieces. Andrew was arrested that night, dragged out of some dingy apartment by the police. He tried to claim it wasn't his fault, that someone else pressured him. But the evidence was everywhere. Notes, tubes, camera footage showing him sneaking out late at night with Leo. The truth was sickening. He'd used my child as a mule, and probably others, 2. I had to testify. The courtroom was packed, the air thick with judgment and shame. Andrew sat in his wrinkled jumpsuit, eyes hollow. When he tried to say he had no choice, I couldn't stay quiet. I stood up and told the court what he'd done, how my son suffered while Andrew slept. Even Dr. Bennett, stoic as ever, testified that Leo couldn't have done this to himself. The judge didn't hesitate. 20 years, no parole. You'd think that'd be the end, right? But trauma doesn't just vanish. Leo struggled, even as we moved to a new apartment, away from the ghosts. But with time, with therapy, with the fierce love of everyone who refused to let him fall, Lucy, Pedro, Dr. Bennett, Detective Herrera, he started to heal. He drew again. He laughed. He even made a new friend, Thomas, who drew robots. When Leo finally smiled at me and said, "Mom, I don't dream about Uncle Andrew anymore," I felt lighter than I had in years. We planted mint on our balcony. I started a new job helping families like mine, and for the first time, dinners were at home, together. Leo wanted to be a doctor. He even got a police badge for bravery, and every nurse on the floor doted on him like he was their own. Some nights, though, I still sit up with my journal and remember. I once thought I was a failure as a mother. I miss the signs. But what matters isn't how many times you fall, it's how fiercely you get back up for your kid. A mother's love is the loudest voice against cruelty, and a child's hope, the smallest light, can shatter the deepest darkness. We survived, not because we were unbreakable, but because we refused to give up. And in the end, I know this. You listen to your children, you fight for them, and sometimes, that's how justice finally wakes up. So, I guess I'll leave it there. If you've got thoughts about right and wrong, about what justice means or how communities heal after something like this, don't hold back. Tell your story. Share your voice. You never know who might need to hear it.